Let me ask you something. Imagine two people. Same job, same salary, same city. One of them always seems to be struggling financially. Nothing dramatic, just never really getting ahead. The other? Quietly building wealth month after month. What's the difference between them? It's not income. It's not luck. It's not even discipline in the way you'd expect. In many cases, it comes down to one single decision they made in their 20s without thinking twice about it. A car payment. Not a huge one, nothing outrageous. Just a completely normal, socially accepted, invisible financial trap that millions of people fall into every single day. And then repeat over and over for the rest of their lives. And the craziest part? Nobody tells you it's a trap. In fact, the world around you encourages you to walk straight into it. Here's how the story usually goes. You're around 22, 24, maybe 27. You've got a job and a steady paycheck. Your old car is starting to break down. And everywhere you look, ads, dealerships, coworkers, car loan calculators, they all whisper the same thing. You can afford this. Look, it's only $490 a month. And that framing is genius. Because your brain doesn't hear $40,000 car. It hears $490. That's it. Can you afford $490 a month? Probably. It feels manageable. Less than rent. A few fewer dinners out each month. So you sign the papers. And here's the thing. You're not being reckless. You're not being irresponsible. You're doing what feels normal. Because it is normal. Around 80% of new cars in the US are financed. Car payments have become so common that most people treat them like a utility bill. But what if this normal financial habit is quietly one of the most expensive decisions you'll ever make? Let's slow down and look at the math. You buy a car for about $38,000. You put some money down and finance the rest over 60 months, 5 years, at around 7% interest, which is pretty common today. Your monthly payment? Around $600. Over 5 years, you'll end up paying roughly $42,000 to $43,000 total after interest. But here's where the real trap starts. The moment you drive that car off the lot, it loses value immediately. In the first year alone, most cars depreciate by 15 to 20%. By the time the loan is fully paid off, that $43,000 car might only be worth $14,000 or $15,000. So you spent over $40,000 to own something now worth around $15,000. That's not an investment. It's a depreciating asset with a monthly subscription fee. And it gets worse. Most people never actually finish paying off the car. Studies show the average car loan is traded in or refinanced after only 3 to 4 years. That means many people still owe money on their old car when they buy the next one. The remaining balance, called negative equity, gets rolled into the new loan. Now they're paying interest on a car they don't even own anymore, while also paying for the next one. And then they repeat the cycle. Again and again. Until car payments become a permanent part of their financial life.
So why is this trap so hard to notice? Because our brains are wired to focus on what feels good right now, not what costs us years later. Psychologists call this present bias. When you're sitting in a dealership, smelling the new leather, looking at the giant touchscreen, hearing that the payment is only $600 a month, your brain lights up with positive emotions. The total cost, the depreciation, the lost investment growth, those things are invisible. But the car feels real. The comfort feels real. The status feels real. And that status matters more than most people realize. Cars are one of the biggest visible symbols of success in our culture. We can't see someone's bank account or investment portfolio, but we can see what they drive. So people unconsciously use cars to signal success, ambition, or status. Ironically, many truly wealthy people don't think this way at all. In some of the wealthiest neighborhoods in America, The most common cars are often modest, reliable vehicles. Why? Because wealthy people understand something most people never fully realize. A car payment doesn't just cost you the monthly payment. It costs you what that money could have become. Let's put numbers to it. Imagine you're 25 years old and you spend $600 every month on car payments for the rest of your working life. Now, imagine instead that you drive a reliable used car and invest that same $600 every month into a simple index fund, earning an average annual return of 8%. By age 55, that money could grow to more than $800,000. Not because you're a financial genius, not because you got lucky, simply because you invested consistently instead of constantly financing depreciating assets. That's the real cost of the car payment trap. Not just the interest, not just the depreciation, the lost compound growth.
So, what should you actually do? First, this is not about never buying a nice car. It's about understanding the true cost before making the decision. The real question isn't, can I afford the monthly payment? The real question is, what else could this money become over time? And is the car worth that trade-off? One of the most powerful mindset shifts you can make is moving from monthly payment thinking to total cost thinking. Before signing any loan, calculate the total amount you'll pay over the life of the loan, the estimated resale value of the car afterward, the opportunity cost of investing that money instead. Look at the full picture, not just the monthly number. Second, seriously consider buying used cars. A 2 or 3-year-old vehicle has already gone through the steepest part of depreciation. Someone else already absorbed that loss. You get a reliable car for a significantly lower price. And third, if you already have a car payment right now, don't panic. This isn't about guilt. It's about awareness. Once you understand the trap, you can start making smarter decisions. Maybe you pay off the car early. Maybe you keep driving it for several years after it's paid off instead of upgrading immediately. Maybe you redirect that monthly payment into investments once the loan is gone. Those small decisions can quietly change your entire financial future. Here's the big idea I want you to remember. The car payment trap isn't really about cars. It's about how we think about money. It's about turning lifetime financial resources into monthly payments so they feel smaller than they really are. And it's about how some of the most expensive financial decisions are the quiet, socially accepted ones nobody ever questions. The dealership won't warn you about this. The ads definitely won't. And most people around you will continue financing cars for decades because it feels normal. But now you've seen the math. And once you see it, you can't really unsee it. The only question now is, what are you going to do differently? Like and subscribe for more personal finance videos.